and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Our very special guest today is Pastor Napoleon Harris of the First Baptist South Inglewood. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We're going to talk about pastor. We're going to talk about life. We might even tell a few jokes. Anyway, let's get into it. First question: who is Napoleon Harris?
A Christian.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I mean, that word is heavier than we give it credence.
No doubt.
It is the prevailing operating lens through which we see the world. So Napoleon Harris is a Christian black man, right?
Okay.
A Christian black husband, a Christian black father, a Christian black brother. I don't think we can divorce our Christianity from our blackness. I mean, that's how God made us, right? You know, and that's who I am. I'm a student, a pastor, emerging scholar.
Okay.
Certainly a father and a husband, and that's me.
Okay. Question that you may have been asked quite a bit: how did you land in ministry? Did you was it ambition? Did it just sort of land in your lap? Or how did that happen?
So, ministry is what is expected of every believer, right? You know, it isn't something. It isn't just something we do; it's everything we do, right?
Okay.
And growing up in a Christian household, I was exposed to ministry, period, right? And so from, just right away, the ministry of obeying your parents, the ministry of being a good sibling, a helpful older brother, then outside of the house, ministering with family, and then beyond the family, ministry in church, right? You know, youth ushers, youth choir, you know, junior deacons, you know, all of the and above. At one point, I tried to play the drums at church, you know. I was not good. I said I tried. One time, that was it, you know. But any way to serve, I was the custodian at church for a while, my dad's church. So I understood ministry to be holistic in terms of vocational ministry, congregational care, pastoral ministry. That was something that, in the preaching ministry, that was something that I was called to. I discerned inner compelling to it, and it's just something that I honestly couldn't do without.
Okay.
You know, it's interesting in that I taught for a while. It was my first pastor when I initially went to school for, and in the preaching ministry, living out the Christian call and proclaiming Christ, I find all of my interests and passions and parts coming full circle.
Okay.
The teacher, the unfunny comedian, the activist, the scholar, they meet, those concentric circles all meet in the preaching moment and in the preaching ministry.
Okay. So I have one question with two parts. The church as we know it today, is it meeting our needs? I'm specifically talking about black folk first, and then we'll broaden it to people in general. But is it meeting the needs of our people?
Can we cuss on this show?
Absolutely, no doubt.
I have to recover my career in comedy. I get some laughs today. No, seriously. Here's the issue with that. Here's my statement to that question. There is the church, Christ Church. There is the black church, which is Christ Church, right? And then there are churches that are led by black people and that black people attend that do not quantify as being called the black church.
Okay. I'm with you.
Okay. So that question is the black church, I'm reifying the question, meeting the needs of black people? Yes, it always has.
Okay.
By definition, the black church will always meet the needs of black people. Not churches with black people in them.
That's a different thing.
It's a different thing.
Okay.
The black church is born in America, was born as a counter-protest to the imperialistic church of slavery, the church that said Amazing Grace and named a slave ship after it. the church that the preacher would tie up the husband, beat him, and go right off to church, have church, sing, have a good time, preach, catch they ghost, and then come home and rape his wife, and then cut him down, right? That kind of church called for no change, no social action. It was a reinforcement of the status quo. That's the kind of church that killed Jesus,
No doubt.
right? The black church was born out of that as a way to say, no, absolutely not. God ain't in that. God is in this. And so we got the meeting in Brush Arbors, right? You know,
Right.
calling on the Lord as we understood God and knew God prior to coming here. Yeah, prior to coming here. Because Christianity, like Judaism, are what we call ATRs, African traditional religions. And to the extent that the colonizers could not even teach the Old Testament and the continent, because we were still living it very much so.
Okay.
Yeah. That's for all the woke folks.
Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. So is it meeting the needs of people? And I'm not talking about I need to feel better sometimes, or I need a sort of distraction from my issues. Is it actually meeting the needs of people?
I think so, yes. Again, I mean, let's be fair again. I'm making a clear distinction between them. And for me, the distinction lies on that the black church is doing that. To not do that is to just be an American church.
Okay.
Even though the purveyors and actors may be black, right? But you don't get the title black church, right? You feel what I'm saying?
No doubt.
You know, the black church marched with King. The black church is for social justice. The gospel, because we say social justice. No, it's the gospel, right? It's God's way, God's reign. It's a God movement, right? So any church, not just the black church, any church that isn't moving towards the move of God, shouldn't be called a church. You feel what I'm saying? It's a social club. You know, it's a place where people kind of go and whatever.
Yeah.
But church is a movement. Ecclesia is not a building, right? It's a group of people. We were initially called Hodos, the way, right? You know what I mean? So it's a movement. So we got and gang culture gave us the word false flagging, right? You know, we have a lot of perps, a lot of people false flag in the church, and that's giving the church a bad name and a bad rap. And then we have some brothers and sisters, just to be honest, that are just misguided and have a serious misunderstanding and have not sat with Jesus long enough to find the humility to say, maybe I don't have this the way I thought or hoped I had. When you have folk like Westboro Baptist and campaigning on hatred, you have people like our own Governor Bill Lee. You can insert the expletives there.
Yes, sir.
Who would say in the name of a God executed a man yesterday. Really?
Right.
You know,
Right.
you have people like our Mayor Briley, who wants to build it city on the back of children and workers and people who can't afford to live here. You feel me? That's the dilemma, and I think that's where the question comes from. Every day we have people who tell us that they are believers, who tell us that they're Christian, but their actions look nothing like Jesus.
Gotcha.
So when now you come back, well, you know, is the church meeting the needs? Well, the problem is that people aren't being the church, period. You feel me? You know, they're not following the teachings of Christ, period. And we get so hardline staunch, and we've politicized this to our demise, where it's, you know, right to life, or you know, it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. You know? So.
Okay, so I hear a lot about, or I get questioned a lot about, is the church growing? Why is it not growing? Why are people not coming? All of that. So my question is, a lot of times people will say what used to happen, how it used to be, how we used to feel, what used to happen. Is nostalgia getting in our way of progressing?
Anything can be idolatry. I mean, anything can be idolatry. I think it's just a matter of adapting to the times.
Okay.
So, you know, spirituality, church's command has been to make disciples, followers of Christ, practitioners of Christ, healthy Christians. I use the idea of health just coming from the gym. My doctor says, Napoleon, be healthy, right? You know, now I went and got a gym membership, and I go every day, right? But they may say, Riley, be healthy. And Riley goes, I'm not getting a gym membership. I'm going to walk. All right. Might say, Keisha, be healthy. And Keisha goes, I'm not finna walk. I'm not finna get a gym membership. I'm gonna change the way I eat. You know, all of those things are steps towards what? Towards health, right? And I think one of the dilemmas that we have is we say the only way to be healthy is to come to this building at this time and do these things, and that is not really true. You know what I mean? You may find your own way to health. I know that's difficult to say, but it's true, because at the end of it is God, and we hold that all things work together.
Yes,
you know. So there's that. The other thing is, man, folk got options that they didn't have. It wasn't that people were so spiritual back in the day. Nigga ain't had nothing else to do. It was entertainment. You know what I mean? This was the epicenter. It was, you got music. You got, you could hook up. You could, it was catch the news. So people are no more or less spiritual today than they ever was. In fact, they may be more spiritual today because now you come in here, you making a conscientious decision to not go to the game, to not go to brunch, to not go. These things, especially black folks, we ain't no options.
Absolutely, yeah. It was very limited.
Yeah. So that's a part of it too. Now, the last part of that, the nostalgia, I hear Bishop Walker talk about this and shares with me in our mentoring moments. Change is lost. You have to allow people to grieve. Change is happening so much faster in this day and age. You and I are closer in age. Just think of how gospel music has changed.
No doubt. Yeah.
Remarkably, right?
Yeah.
From when Kirk and them, reason why I sang was.
Right, that was a no-no. I remember
and John P. Key and all that. Today, they got gospel. I'm old. Gospel trap music is a thing of the past here, right? You know what I mean? So that's how old I am. And I look, it's moving so fast. So we also, it's coming on us younger to have sympathy, respect, love, patience, all the things that all the care that we would extend to a grieving family member, to our grieving elders, sisters, and brothers in Christ, because it's just changed. I mean, it was like James Cleveland, and now we got, Jesus is the best, and the story, sermons, and songs of that, to Tasha Cobb and them, it's just different, I don't want to love nobody but you.
Okay, so now that you are pastoring and a black man and a leader in our community, whatever that means, where do you want to lead us to? Where do you want to take us?
Away from here. No, let's to a place of equality, right? Fairness, equity, justice. The kingdom of God, man, the reign of God. Talked about nostalgia blocking us. Well, injustice blocks us. Oppression blocks us. We can't see the beauty of God and the beauty of God in us, right? Through those things. I want to take us away from that. To a place where it does not matter that you may agree with me or disagree with me. I can still be civil, still kind. Jesus says, be perfect, for I'm perfect, and he also comes back and tells us, when you do this, when you forgive, then you will be perfect and complete like your Heavenly Father is, who makes it to reign on the just as well as the unjust. That's the definition of love. It's to not withhold the essentials, not to withhold the essence of life from anybody, whether they're good or bad. Feel me? So that's my hope, that we can get to that place where we can love each other. Whether regardless, hot bad issues, people's sexuality. Come on, man. Every good and perfect gift comes from the Lord. Sexuality is the best gift I know. I'm not finna square up with Jesus on that. We may differ theologically on that, but you know what? That person still needs to be treated with human dignity and respect and love and courtesies, right? Love your neighbor as you love Yes, so. So all my efforts are efforts to live my Christianity out loud, at the same time not disturbing someone who may be entrenched in living out their tenets of Islam or any other spirituality system that they may have.
Yeah.
You know, I want to live mine out so loudly, so effectively that you are become interested in it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Last thing, and I'll let you go. Our audience is full of people who want to be better at everything. Fathers, mothers, better preachers, teachers, business owners, whatever. Their intent is to be better. So what's 2 things that you would tell them by way of advice?
Get after it. Go do it if you can. Period. I mean, the only thing stopping you is you. Go do it. Live your best life. Make your best move. Do it at any rate. You know, make it do what it do. If you can't be a millionaire, be the best 1,000 there, the best 100 there, the best, the best you can. Meditate. Spend some time with God. Spend some time with you. Know where you're good at. Know your value. Know your worth, and start to walk in it. Claim it and walk in it. And that's faith. You know what I mean? Faith without works is dead. Believe it and then go do it.
Fantastic. That's all I got, man.
Be
Thanks
like
again.
Riley. He's doing it.
Thanks again, sir.
Most
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
We're good, man.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.